Hi, my name is Rita Hillman Olson, and I am the field director for Dr. Scott Jensen for Governor. I'm so excited that you're here with us, and I'm pleased to explain the endorsement process to you and what caucusing actually means. First off, I want to tell you that precincts are going to be February 1st, 2022, and they start at about 7 o'clock, and the doors open about 6:30. And we will help you identify where your precinct is meeting. Now, the precincts will meet at community centers, libraries, schools. Your local BPOU will decide where these caucuses are held. Now you'll notice I threw out a term at you, BPOU, right? One of the most common questions we get is, what is a BPOU? A BPOU is a basic political organizational unit. It's your local Republican Party. It is your grassroots. So a BPOU will decide where your caucuses are held. Now, a caucus is just people coming together in your neighborhood. And as I said, on February 1st, this is going to happen statewide. From all corners of the state, Republicans and Democrats get together. So what is a precinct? We've been using the term precinct caucus here, and I want to explain it to you. It's an area of a city, town, or township served by a polling place. When you go and vote in November, you go to your polling place, and everybody that comes in there are from all walks of life, right? Democrats, Republicans, independents, all types of voters come in. But at a precinct caucus, we separate by party. And you'll come in, you'll register, and in an upcoming training session, we're going to talk about the specifics of what actually happens at a caucus. We're going to go through the agenda, and we'll talk about some of those details. For purposes of this video, we're just going to talk about the caucus itself and how the endorsement process works. So now I want you to keep in mind that right now in the state of Minnesota, there are more candidates than Dr. Jensen running for governor. And the purpose of this video is to help guide you through how we get Dr. Jensen to be the Republican governor candidate to go up against the Democrat and any other major party candidates. All right, so let's imagine that these are people that have attended the caucus. And we're going to go ahead, they meet into one main area. Sometimes when you come in, you might already be in tables and so forth by your precinct, but these people have all come together, and at some point in time during the evening, they're going to separate into their precincts. Now remember, these are all your neighbors and friends. These are people, you're probably surprised that they're Republicans. Anyway, these are all your friends and family, or friends and neighbors coming together, might be family too. And for purposes of this video, we're going to talk about, well, what is a delegate? A delegate is a person sent to represent your voting area. So it's people voting for people to represent you. So let's say, for instance, let's look at this precinct here. How do we decide the number of people that are delegates? We decide it's a preset formula that is determined by the number of Republicans that voted in your precinct in a previous election. So let's say, for instance, you have this precinct here, and as an example, there's 300 people that voted Republican in your precinct. And let's just divide that by 60, and that's 5. So there would be 5 delegates coming out of your precinct. So let's go ahead. During the process of the caucus, you're going to go ahead and vote for 5 people to represent your precinct. And what will happen is that same process will happen in all these precincts. Here I'm only going to grab 2, maybe over here I'm going to grab 3, and over here I'm going to go ahead and grab 4. Okay, so these are all delegates that have come out of your precinct. And I want to reinforce to you that there are 4,110 precincts in Minnesota, and there are 125 BPOUs in Minnesota. So what happens is these precincts all come underneath BPOUs. So now we're going to go ahead and identify these particular delegates that came out of the precinct, and now these delegates will go on to what we call a BPOU convention. These people here basically are done with the process. So now these people will go on to the BPOU convention, and as I said, now there's going to be all these people at various conventions across the state, 125 of them. And out of that BPOU convention, there's also going to be delegates picked out of there. So let's say this is the BPOU convention. Out of here, we're going to pick 5 delegates. These delegates or these attendees have other responsibilities, but what'll happen is these people then go on to the state endorsing convention. And I want to reinforce to you the state convention, the MNGOP convention, is May 13th and 14th in Rochester, and this is when the endorsement happens. This is when these people who originally started at the precinct, then went to the BPOU, now get carried to the state convention. And this is where we want you. Our team will help you through this process, and we really appreciate you getting involved. This is Grassroots of Minnesota.